Well, here we go. We are live, everybody. How we doing? Another Can We Keep It Real podcast. I came outside today. It was so beautiful outside. And Coach Paiva, I asked him if he could come on. And he usually comes on every week after his football games, win, lose. You might have seen him from the bus, doing so many things up there at Northsmithfield. And I said it plenty of times. Wes Pennington said it, when Wes left, he said he was confident that Coach Paiva can handle the job, left him in a good place, So we're going to bring in Coach Paiva. How are we doing today, Coach?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
All right, not bad. Took the laptop outside. It was a little loud in there with the grandkids coming by, and they wanted to play with the keyboards and the computers. So I said, I'll go outside and I'll talk to Coach Paiva.
Perfect. I'm happy to be here.
I bet you are. You would rather be on the football field this week. You're X'd out. You
Yeah.
had a good game against Central Falls, and we talked last week, and I think that's a game that you could have won.
Yeah. I think we would have certainly liked to go and compete in that game. We're starting. I think we started to take a turn for us. We're kind of on an upswing a little bit. We were successful last week in our preparation for Tollgate, played well at Tollgate, and we had a great week of practice this week in preparation for Central Falls. So the boys were certainly feeling confident and, we're excited to play.
Now, RIL says that the way they have this no contest, that it don't hurt schools and programs, but my opinion, you could have beat Central Falls, my opinion, and now
Yep.
you don't get that W, and this is all on win percentage.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly would have had to go out and play the game for sure. I don't think our team and our roster, we're not rolling off the bus thinking that we're going to beat anybody. We have to play, but we were confident going in that game, and we were confident that we were going to be at least on a competitive, even playing field with an opportunity to win. And with our program this year, that's kind of what we're looking for. And to no fault of Central Falls, I mean, this stuff happens.
No, exactly.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault when their quarantine starts. It's not their fault, that they don't have enough guys to play. Believe me, I was in it for our injury.
Yes,
fund.
you was the beginning of the season.
So I fully understand, and there's no fault at all on Central Falls' end. I know. I don't know Coach Lapierre personally. I've coached against him over the last few years as an assistant, and he's always been, respectful. He's come and done joint practices with us. So I hold Coach Lapierre in the highest regards. And I feel bad for his kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that falls on his schedule in terms of homecoming or senior nights. I hope those kids will get to do some of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think this is Coach Jeff's fault at all. I think this goes down, and I'll say it, there wasn't a lot of thought put into this, and this is another reason why. And I've been critical of the league this year, especially with the there's no contest rule. I think the rule needs to go. I'm sorry you can't play, but you can't go. It's a loss. So let's change it up. Like, see what happens with.
I'm hoping it doesn't bite us in the butt right now. A win yesterday probably would have locked us in at the sixth spot, without the possibility of being caught. We would have held the tiebreaker over Tollgate because we beat them head to head. Now, should Tollgate find a way to win a game these last few weeks, they'll jump back over us to get to with their second win, and we wouldn't have had that opportunity. So there is a chance it bites us in the butt. We just have to wait and see who it plays out, and then we have to wait and see where we fall in terms of the seedings.
Well, Coach, it bites Pilgrim in the ass too, because Pilgrim already has a win. And Pilgrim very much could have beat Central Falls. Respect to Central Falls. And I put a post out yesterday. And when I'm saying this game got canceled, and I said, I'm sure the coaches, the players in Central Falls really wanted to play, but with a 10-day quarantine protocol, that'll bring them back, I think, the day of the Pilgrim game. And that also, they don't have time to practice, so that game's
Right.
scratched. The next game's Thanksgiving. But here's two teams, even though Pilgrim's going to make it anyway, but here's two teams, Northsmithfield and Pilgrim, that needs a W, and this is why it's affecting your seeding. You're making a playoffs anyway.
Yep.
I know you don't agree with it. A lot of people don't agree with it. You know that I kind of made a joke that Division Three is the Oprah division. Respectfully to all the coaches, there's some great coaches in Division Three. But it definitely hurts people here, and I just think the rule needs to be changed to save the game.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what the right solution is. I don't know what the fair solution is. But you know, letting us all in, I guess is a compromise somewhere. But our goal has been to be a playoff team in that original 16 format. So with us, we're hoping we're 6 seed or bust. We want that 6 seed pretty bad. We'll be disappointed should we drop into that 7 or 8 seed. And people are going to say 1 win, 2 wins, whatever. It's still not a great season.
No, you're right. And Coach Pennington brought up a good point. What happens when one of these 7 or 8 seeds happen to get a spark and get hot and they knock off a contender?
Or not even that. What happens now with everybody getting in and God forbid Narragansett or Pilgrim comes up with a positive case right before they play off.
Or a high seed, yes.
Now a 7 seed or an 8 seed advances in the playoffs.
Yes, and they advance to that spot where you got one more game, you win that next game. Yes,
Anything could happen.
No, you're absolutely right. Coach Pennington brought that point up, like what's going to happen when a 0-win team ends up knocking off somebody, and people are like, oh, that won't happen. It's like, you can't say it won't happen because no one thought Central was going to hang with Bishop Hendricken the other night. Yeah, I mean, no one thought SK was going to beat. Like, these games happen, no one thought Barrington was going to beat St. Ray's last year, or vice versa.
And they swing on random things, too. An a dropped kickoff to start the game, and all of a sudden that lower seed gets a little momentum, and now you got a game on your hands that nobody expects, and that's why we play them, I guess.
No, yeah, you bring up a valid point, Coach. You bring up a valid point. Let me see if I'm losing a little bit of volume here. Hold on. There we go. You back?
Yeah, that might have been me going in and out. I had a phone call jump in that I declined. So
okay, yeah,
might have kicked my voice out.
That'll usually happen. Now, you still have a game coming up against Narragansett at the end of the season, so that's another reason why this didn't work out.
Yeah, this one was important. We would have liked to have had kind of a little bit of momentum going into that Narragansett game. We know Narragansett's a wagon. They're playing good football right now. They're an offense that's tough to stop, and they're going up and down the field on everybody.
Now, Coach Paiva, the fan, do you see, not the coach, but the fan, do you see Central Falls coming back for the playoffs and taking a ride up to Narragansett? And I mean, let's face it, it's going to be a can of, you already know, a 50-point by 50.
I hope so. And, like I said, I feel as if Coach LaPierre's leadership is going to have those kids rally and go out and play a playoff game. I'm hoping that they don't pack it in. I would think that they'd go out there and play that playoff game. And the fan in me, and the fan in high school sports with the anything can happen mentality, I know if it was me in that 8th spot, I'm getting on the bus and we're driving to Narragansett.
Oh, yeah, I really believe that. Now, West Pennington got a big win last night versus Lincoln, which really helped him out. West Pennington should have a couple other wins this season. But like he said last night, you can't get off the bus and already know the game's over.
No, you've got to have some belief in, I think most of the coaches out here do a good job in getting guys ready to play. Um, and like I said, they're high school sports and they're high school kids. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like your guys do. And you never know. They've got to deal with, the emotional baggage of being a high school kid, just like your guys do. And you never know who's having a bad week, who's breaking up with a girlfriend, who's not getting along with their mom and dad that day, and it affects a football game. That's what high school sports coaches deal with. It's more than the X's and O's, and it's more than just saying, "Hey, get out there." You never know what's going to be in the emotions in the lap of a high school kid, and that's what makes kind of this whole thing so fun.
So how's the environment around the football program around the high school? Are they enjoying the new transition? I know nobody was expecting West to leave the program, but how do you feel now? Are people actually starting to warm up to you?
The kids are having a great time. This is a great community. It's a small community.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows what's going on at all times, and we constantly have eyes on us. We're doing our best to represent North Smithfield proudly, and it's hard to gauge who's behind us and who's not because we haven't been on at home. We're hoping
That's true.
that
You're right.
Thanksgiving Day game, the fans and people come out and get behind us.
Boy, that's going to be nice on a beautiful new turf field.
We're hoping.
I'm sure you
We're hoping.
guys are. You know what? If the school's listening, I advise them that maybe upgrade their communication system down the field, put a better Wi-Fi signal down the field, because we're in a new day, a new era now. Live streaming is where it's at, especially these football games. And if I could give you my opinion, stay away from NFHS. You know,
I
I
watched that mess on Monday night,
I
and
said it the other day. I said, you know what? I said I watched NFHS. I said my experience, and it was horrible.
I had no idea who was winning that football game.
No, you didn't,
I
and you
had
didn't
no
even
idea.
know who was playing. Bishop
No,
Hendricken versus Providence Day. So NFHS has to do better. You get no announces. I mean, there's just so many more options now.
it was
Salute.
actually it was actually funny. I was scrolling through my Facebook feed last night, seeing as how I had nothing to do, and at the NFHS advertisement for North Smithfield Central Falls was there, and I was like, well, I guess they didn't get the memo.
Yeah, no, they don't get many memos, and I know some schools that they dug in their pocket better than 10 grand for that program. And the funny thing is that it's another 10 grand for the equipment you need for announcing.
Yep,
So it's like, why am I gonna do that? I like what West Warwick does. They have a communications program, part of their PPAC program.
yep,
So I like that they stream all their own games.
yeah,
Fans
they do a
only
good job.
sports been
That's a good
streaming a lot of games.
that's a good product. I've caught a couple of the West Warwick games on their YouTube channel. In fact, I just caught the Lincoln game this morning.
Yeah, Mr. Green does a great job in the booth. Former
Yep.
Bishop Hendricken, nice guy. He's a big fan of the show. He said, I had to wait till I retired from football to come on your show. I said, oh, I guess I'm a fan. I guess people really like me.
You're doing a great
You
job,
know what I
and
mean?
I
But
know a lot of us
I just,
appreciate it.
what some people can't handle the truth.
Well, sometimes it hurts.
People really and some of the things that I talk about, people don't want being talked about, but I
Yeah.
feel that some of the stuff has to be talked about, like this alignment. You know what I mean? Like the how they align schools to begin with.
Yeah,
A lot of these things need to change.
it's a tough process. You know, I'll never shy away from that conversation. I'll never shy away from playing anybody really. Um, but if you give me the truth serum and you ask me are we a D3 team? I'd probably say no. We're a D4 program. You know, we've competed in the bottom division of the state for the entirety of our football program's existence. We've
You're a
never
small
been.
program. You're not a big school.
No, we're not. And you know, we do have the co-op, but I have three kids from Mount. You know, much like the EWG co-op, where they don't have many guys from Prout. We don't have many guys from Mount either. Now we're looking to fix that and help with that. But you know, we had some success the last few years. We got bumped up out of Division 4 to Division 3. Whether it's rightfully so or not, you know, who am I to say?
Right.
All I can say is, you know, we had a couple of really good classes of really good football players. You know, and you know, some would say you get punished a little bit by having a little bit of success as a small school. You know, we're 6 years removed, Mikey. 6 years removed
Yeah, you know, and the league
from not finishing a season. We forfeited our
has
last
an
game
issue.
in our Thanksgiving Day
Sorry
game
to cut
just
you
6
off.
years ago. So, you know, have we established ourselves in 6 years as a viable program that deserved to move up? I think it takes more time than that.
No, you're right. And the league has a problem in moving teams up a year too late. Pilgrim, they move them up to Division 2 a year too late. Burrville, they move, even though Burrville been competitive in D1, they moved them up a year too late, you know, and it's just historically they move people up a year too late. It wouldn't be bad if the realignment process was like a 50-50, 50 win percentage, 50% school size. You know,
Yeah,
90-10 is tough.
yeah. I don't know what the perfect ratio is going to be. My gut feeling tells me that in the lower divisions, in Division 3 and Division 4, there's always going to be a stud every year. Like there's probably going to be a team that blows the doors off of everybody. But it's cyclical. Like that was
Right.
us for 2 years. That was Tiverton for 2 years, right? Look at where Tiverton is now. Look at where we are now. We got
Mhm.
20. We have 25 kids in our whole football program.
Right.
25. You know, I show up on a Friday night and I play 14 kids. I have 3 subs that we use. So, you know, it speaks a lot to my guys and how badly they want to play football, those 13 or 14 guys. And, you know, it speaks to the other guys that show up to practice every day and every week. And we show up with 14, 15 guys to a JV game. So there's only 3 or 4 subs there too. And those guys play a full JV game, dog tired.
Right.
You know, and that's just where we are as a program and as a small school.
Well, Coach Paiva, thank you. You know, you're always invited to come on. I really appreciate you taking your time out to, you know, to call in and talk this morning. Good luck to all your kids. I've been bragging all week about your quarterback, you know, and what he said last week, you know, about the beef bond and about what type, you know, his no huddle stuff. That is like amazing, you know, just to see kids. And I watched some film and I was pretty impressed, you know. So salute to him and salute to everything you guys are doing up there. And I can't wait to see the field the way it is. And shout out to your superintendent, athletic director. You know, I hear nothing but good things about them.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate it. And you know, if nothing else, we're gonna hang our hats on the fact that we show up and work hard every day. And you know, like I said at the beginning of the season, like I said last week, and like I'll continue to say, we'll work hard and we'll compete, and then the wins and losses will fall where they fall.
No, right, and you knew coming into the season you wasn't a higher D3 team. You knew you were going to fall between that 3 through 6 spot, and hopefully the
Well,
season played out. It would have went that way.
like I said, you know, a couple of weeks ago to my coaches, I said, you know, when we looked at the schedule, we were pretty much going to be playing a 3-team schedule. It was going to be Middletown, it was going to be Tollgate, and it was going to be Central Falls with the games we had scheduled. We came up short against Middletown. We beat Tollgate. We didn't play against Central Falls. So So we went 1-1 in our 3-game schedule. Our goal was to go 2-1 in that 3-game schedule and get us to the 6th seed. That's realistically what we looked at about 3 or 4 weeks ago. That was the goal we set, and just about came up to it. So, we'll keep
Right
plugging.
now, you would, if the playoffs started today, before this week's games, of course, you would play Charahoe, right?
Yes. Yep. That's what we're looking at. Charahoe put a pretty good lumping on us to start our season.
But you were fresh. You were right out the gate. That was early on in the season.
Yeah.
What was it? Your second game, right?
Our first game.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So you're right. So maybe now you'll be a little more polished up. But Coach, thank you. I really appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you for having me.
All right, no problem. Have a good one. That was Coach.
We'll talk soon.
Yes, definitely. Coach Paiva checking in, doing his thing. But thank you to the people that make this possible. Big shout out to Mark Wright, Coldwell Banker Coastal Homes. If you're looking to buy a house, give Mark a call, 401-787-5203. Don't forget our Tuesday night show. Voice Sports in the building. We have people all over the country. Maryland's in the house. We had South Carolina and North Carolina. We talked to people, high school football in New York, Indianapolis. And you all know Thursday nights, we got our man Uncle Felix in the house doing his Rhode Island ranked predictions. And today we'll have Coach Gary Goodhart will be on the show. Who else is going to be on today? Coach Fortin is going to be on today. Blake Simpson. So we're going to have more programs coming up today. Definitely, I appreciate everybody for doing what they do. And till then, we out.
What y'all thought we was done? Oh, we ain't never done. It's Mr. Spin Your Block. Yeah, it's the remix. And I got some shooters with me. I ain't even doing no more talking. We straight at 'em.